Good morning, Enid. It is Thursday, May 4th, 7:30 in the morning. It's good to see you. Kind of cool out there for a May day, if you will. Under a partly cloudy sky, we've got a cool 46 degrees. Thanks for joining us. Grab a cup of coffee, hot chocolate, Diet Coke, whatever it is, but join us for a great 30 minutes. Today is the National Day of Prayer, and we have a very special guest coming to us at the round table to talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning,
Sunshine.
Steve.
Look how bright you are.
I am bright today, right?
Yeah, looks great.
Good morning. I'm Jomara Ortiz. And remember, we're coming live to over 14,000 homes in Enid. We're also live streaming around the globe via the internet. This is Good Morning Enid.
And it's time to rise and shine. Out on the farm, it's wide open space, it's clear, you see all the bright.
Oklahoma receives a real ID extension through June 2017.
If you're in your 30s or your 40s, for example,
You'll just want to show up at 4:30, but we do encourage you to purchase a
A ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down.
just send us an email and we'll be happy to share.
Hello.
Hey, Derek. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
It's Thursday again. You know what that means?
Yes, sir.
It's time to rise and shine.
I'm on my way.
Good morning, Jamara.
Good morning. I'm on my way.
Good morning, Brooke.
Good morning, I'm on my way.
It's good to see you again. Welcome to show number 119 on Good Morning Enid. And here we are again.
Again, a little bit chilly this morning for May, right? But here we are.
But here we are, yeah. It's good to see everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let's look at the statewide temps if you're planning a Thursday trip on this May 4th across the state. As you can see all the way down in southwest Oklahoma, right now it's 48 degrees. It's 46 here in Enid, so it's 48 down at Granite. And then Wynnewood, near I-35 is 47 degrees. Have you been to Pawnee, up in the northeastern part of the state?
Probably driven through.
Okay, they have a Pawnee Bill Museum that everybody ought to go to that. Anyway, it's 44 degrees. Is that Mutual? I have
I
not
would
been to
say so.
Mutual, Oklahoma. But that'd be a great place from. Where are you from? Mutual. You know? So anyway, if you're planning a trip across the state, that's what it looks like in the 40s today. Kind of had some rain overnight, had a bunch of clouds come through and some wind, not near the wind that we had on, what was it, Tuesday night?
On Tuesday night,
We
yes.
really had some wind that time. So anyway, last weekend's weather forecast was not kite flying weather. It was
It
cold,
wasn't,
rainy,
sadly.
and all that. But
Yes.
how about this weekend? I have got yard work to do.
I think it looks promising. Look at that, beautiful.
That looks
We're
like-
not going to be cold.
That looks like yard work. Oh
Yes.
man, now I'm depressed.
Sunny on Friday and Saturday. The highest temperature will be on Sunday with 81 degrees. Mostly sunny, look at that. And the lowest will be Friday night, 47 degrees. I'll say
Okay.
it's a beautiful weekend.
Okay. Well, the yard work will happen after all.
Well,
See, when
you-
it's cold and rainy, you just can't do anything.
Probably you want to say picking up tree limbs and everything that was turned down because of the storm, right?
Exactly. So, well, again, if you're planning for today, the high today is going to be 60, 90 degrees. And for our pilots out at Vance this morning, our winds are from the northwest at 6, 7 miles per hour. And but again, it's going to be a gorgeous day. A lot of sunshine, 69 on this May 4th, Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. And we talked about it being the National Day of Prayer. And we have
Yes.
a special guest to talk about that this morning at 7:33. But until we go to the special guest here at the round table, we need to go to the bow tie guy.
Yes.
And that's Derek Silas, because he has the news from last night with the Oklahoma Minute.
Oklahoma receives a real ID extension through June 2017. And Oklahoma natives and country music
Here's your top headlines this week. President Trump appoints Governor Mary Fallin as co-chair of the Council of Governors. Fallin joins 9 other governors in serving on this bipartisan national council that focuses on effective collaborative efforts between the federal and state government on issues such as National Guard, Homeland Security, and disaster response. Oklahoma School for Deaf students recently competed at a university in D.C. and brought home 3rd place in the National Battle of the Books playoff competition. Monday, the City Commission appointed Durin Norwood to fill the seat of Ward 2 Commissioner. Mayor Bill Shuey administered the oath of office. And a Sapulpa teacher accused of bringing meth, heroin, prescription drugs, needles, and syringes to school was arrested by police. And on this day in history, in 1896, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Old Greer County, land of some 1.5 million acres at the time, belonged to the United States in a lawsuit against the state of Texas. The land was officially assigned by Congress to Oklahoma Territory. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, Old Greer County was divided into Greer, Harmon, Jackson, and part of Beckham counties. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve and Jamara.
Jamara, I'm amazed at this bow tie guy. He's just a walking encyclopedia of facts.
Lots of information all the time.
Lots of information.
Yes. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm holding this card. You really can't see it, but it's called Decades Rewind. That's the show tonight. We're going to have a special guest to talk in a few minutes about Decades Rewind. So if you're a 60s, 70s, and 80s kind of music fan, your show in Enid tonight at 7:30. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but I'm just planting a little seed there to let you know Decades Rewind is in Enid, Oklahoma tonight. So,
Well,
what's next?
next, if you are getting the kids ready to go to school, make sure that
Bus stop.
you bundle them up. It's cold this morning. Let's see our bus stop forecast. 46 degrees right now. It'll be better later today with 69 degrees, but they need a jacket now. It's not nice weather at this time, right?
Exactly.
And as always, remember, if you have any questions or you have any pictures that you want to share with us, please send them at gme@enid.org.
Send them to our cows, our Holsteins. They're checking the mailbox.
Yes, yeah.
So what's happening this weekend, or what's already happening?
Well, we're always busy, but this is a very special weekend. I don't know if you've seen all the bossing around town. It's Tri-State Week, and it's closing with the $1 Million Parade tomorrow at 6 p.m. downtown Enid. And there will also be a concert at 8 o'clock at the CMB Center Grand Ballroom at 8 o'clock. So we are busy. Tri-State Weekend.
And we say that every weekend when we're on the show. It's amazing the entertainment that comes to Enid.
Yes.
That you don't have to go to Tulsa and Oklahoma City anymore so much. And just the events that are here in the community, so that's great. You already did the school bus, so let's take a look at the school menu, if we could. One of my favorites, since I'm always looking for my next meal. And it looks like, what is that, Frito chili pie? Steamed corn? Zucchini. CC, would that be chocolate chip? Yeah, I need help with all these, what are those acronyms or whatever. So, Thursday didn't look too bad. Today's Friday's cheeseburger. Things are looking up for Friday, so go to school on Friday for sure. Pork and beans, we have diced peaches. And pickles, I can do pickles. And of course, milk. I wonder if that's 2% milk, skim milk, or is it just milk? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Your son's in high school. Does he eat any at the cafeteria, or does he leave and go somewhere?
We pack his lunch.
Oh, you pack his lunch?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, it's 7:38. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us. It's our privilege to bring you live television here in Enid, Oklahoma. And as Jamara said, around the globe, because we have a lot of friends from Vance that have been here for a while. Then they go to Japan and Germany and different places. And they keep up on Enid because of the show. And so we welcome them as well. Well, I mentioned earlier, Decades Rewind is a theater show, it's a dance show, it's a party show. It's the hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That is tonight at 7:30 at the CNB Center. You got to go to that. And if you love music of like Sly and the Family Stone, Temptations, The Journey, and Led Zeppelin, all these people, you'll hear it tonight. I had the opportunity yesterday, Jamara, to visit with the producer of the show. He's the co-founder of Decades Rewind, and he's also the keyboardist for all the musicians.
Oh, wow.
His name is Peter Gatti. I had the opportunity to sit down. We were on the stage of where the show will be tonight and had this visit with Peter Gatti of Decades Rewind.
Decades Rewind. Music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Your music.
Pretty music.
Your memories.
I got the music.
Your life.
Right off the bat, what will folks experience tonight, Peter?
Biggest thing I'll say is fun. It is a party. It's lots of fun. We're so excited to be here because our show lends itself to dancing and having a good time. And with the setup you guys have made here with the tables and the dance floor, it's going to be nonstop energy. We basically do 60s, 70s, and 80s music. We start in the 80s and rewind to the 60s. We have 3 huge video screens portraying American culture throughout those decades, from Woodstock to Vietnam, you name it. We have over 100 costume changes, and we have 14 people on stage between the 6 vocalists in the band. So again, it's nonstop energy, just more fun. It's going to bring you back to those days. It's a great date night kind of thing. It's just lots of fun.
Okay. With the 60s, 70s, and 80s, what do you hope to achieve taking people back to those 3 decades?
Biggest thing is memories. We want to bring back those memories. We hear all the time at our meet and greet, memories, fun, and tears. We want to bring back those memories. We want them to have more fun than they've had in a long, long time. And at times we literally bring them to tears because we might play that song that they remember when they first met their husband or their spouse, or that they played at their wedding. But we just want them to have a good time and just shut down the whole world for about 2 hours and just bring them back to the times of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Just memories, memories, memories.
Tell us a little bit about the number of musicians, Peter, and also the vocalists. Tell us really about the individuals that make the show happen.
Absolutely. They're the stars for sure. On the band side, we have your typical 2 guitars, bass, drums, and keyboards. We have 3 horns, a saxophone, trombone, and trumpet. But the real stars are the vocalists. We have 6 vocalists, 3 males and 3 females, and they cover every genre from rock to disco to funk to Motown, from Chubby Checker to ABBA, and they do it really well. Most of them are professionals, have been doing it a good part of their life. They're great entertainers. I'm very, very lucky to have them, quite frankly, because they're really that good.
As we close out this interview, Peter, what word of encouragement do you have for folks to come to the show tonight?
Be ready to have a good time, and we encourage people to dress in their favorite 60s, 70s, or 80s outfits or costumes or whatever you want to call it, because the more you get into the feel of the show, the more fun you'll have. But just come ready to party and have a good time, and you'll leave here emotionally and physically drained because you won't stop all night long.
Very good. Peter, again, thank you for visiting us here in Enid, Oklahoma, and we look forward to the show. And is it loud?
It is not loud. It's just loud enough to be good, but you won't have to wear earplugs, I promise.
Okay, very good. Well, I have a full paisley blue shirt, no bell bottoms, so maybe the paisley's in order. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Well, we hope to see you at Decades Rewind, CNB Center, Thursday night tonight, and 7:30 gets underway. Get your tickets. Come have fun. 60s, 70s, and 80s. Peter assures you you'll have a great time. We'll see you this evening. What a segue. We go from Slide and the Family Stone to church service, you know, dance to music. We're dancing in the aisle at church. Well, welcome back. Decades Rewind had the best visit, and I apologize for being so loud. And I didn't realize I was that close to the microphone. But I had a great visit with Peter, 7:30 tonight. Well, at the round table, we have our special guest today. Again, the first Thursday in May has been declared, if you will, if I can use that word, is the National Day of Prayer. From World Harvest Church is Brad Mendenhall. Do we call you pastor? Do we call you Brad? What's the official?
Good, thank you. How are you?
We don't say hey you, but what do we?
You know, whatever you want to call me is good. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I need that. Yeah, I like don't call me late for dinner because I'm interested in the food stuff.
There you go, brother.
Very good. Well, Brad, thanks for joining us today. Little background information on the history, if you will, on the National Day of Prayer. That in 1952, in place was a law requiring the president to proclaim the National Day of Prayer each year to be the first Thursday in May. And then the law states this: the president shall issue each year a proclamation designating the first Thursday in May as the National Day of Prayer, on which the people of the United States may turn to God in prayer and meditation at churches, in groups, and as individuals. Public Law 105-225. I did not realize, Brad, that it was a law. I just kind of thought it was part of history. It was something we did on the first Thursday of May.
Yeah.
What else am I missing about some of the history of this?
It's very interesting. Of course, our nation was founded really upon a belief that there was a God, and then God was calling the people to establish this nation. So prayer has always been a part of the foundation of our nation for so many years. But it was very interesting that in 1952, you had to pardon my voice, been dealing with a little bit of sore throat this week. But during a Billy Graham crusade back in early 1952, Billy Graham made this statement. said, what would it be like if all of our nation would rally together around a prayer? What could God do and what would happen with our nation? And it was a couple of senators that was inspired by that went back to Congress and wrote a bill to establish a National Day of Prayer. And it was in April of 1952 that President Truman signed into law what you just read to us. And it was in that first Thursday of May of 1952 that our nation began to rally together formally and just to everybody that believed in prayer to come together for that one day to pray for the good of our nation.
When I did just some brief research, I had no idea back in the early 50s. So,
Yeah.
And what can you tell us about the Enid event?
We're
Brad?
excited this year to host the National Day of Prayer observance with the Enid Ministerial Alliance at World Harvest Church. We're out on South Garland Road, back behind Lowe's and Walmart. We had the great opportunity and been blessed to build a new facility out there. We've been in it for about 1.5 years now. So we're inviting all the churches and all the community of faith to come out and join us tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. Going to keep it right at an hour there, just to join together as a unified body of believers here in this Enid region, and just really seeking God's face and just praying for the welfare of our nation, the welfare of our state, and then of course the welfare of this region and our city that we so love.
And just to clarify for those that are joining us right now at the round table, who will be leading this event and who will be participating?
Well, as far as participation, we're hoping that everybody that has a belief in prayer will participate. Those that will be leading the event, it's going to be led by various leaders from our community. We're excited to have our mayor, Bill Shuey, will be really closing out our night with an evening, a moment of prayer there. But we have our sheriff, our great sheriff, Jerry Niles, our Garfield County Sheriff will be there. Enid High football coach, Steve Hayes, will be there to lead us in a prayer. We're excited about that. We also have Rabbi Rick Cohen from the Yad El Messianic congregation. He'll be there leading us in a prayer for Israel. That's one thing that we embrace, is really supporting Israel, because we see it in Scripture there. And we have a few other pastors from the community, just from some other churches around, that will be leading. Again, this is a Ministerial Alliance event, so our president, Leslie Broadbent, our outgoing president, Leslie Broadbent, will be there, who's the pastor at Willowview Methodist Church. And then Eric Granberg, we're excited about him. He's our incoming president from North Garland Church of Christ, and he's going to be leading. And we got a few others in there, too, that will be leading.
Very good. Our special guest this morning on Good Morning Enid here at 7:47 at the round table from World Harvest Church, Brad Mendenhall. Brad, here's a kind of a two-part question. You talked a little bit about the Ministerial Alliance, the different representation. Tell us kind of the function, if you will, of the Ministerial Alliance, because I think it's important for people to know that it's not a one-church event or focus. I mean, it's a collected group with this Ministerial Alliance. Then the second part of the question is, if you're in town for Tri-State, you're in town for the concert, you're just in Enid, how can the public participate? Or what is the expectation of, say, well, I don't know where World Harvest is and what we want to go, but what do we do?
You bet, you bet. Well, first of all, the Enid Ministerial Alliance, the whole purpose of that is to bring really unity to the many churches. There's 80-some churches here in this Enid area. And we all are unique in style, just like churches are like people. They all have their own personalities. But the Ministerial Alliance is meant to really help bring a unified movement, an organizing of the churches here in Enid, Oklahoma, together. And this event tonight, this is not just a one church event, but it's open for all. And so the Enid Ministerial Alliance is just a way to help facilitate the coming together of the different faiths and different churches in the community there. We happen to be hosting it. We've done this in the years past down at the courthouse gazebo over the lunch hour. It's always been tough, with as busy the day goes, to get people to come out. So we're doing this evening event tonight at World Harvest Church, and it's just World Harvest. We're just facilitating it and hosting it there. But we invite everybody to come out. Those that are part of other churches, not even a part of a church. Maybe, like you said, those that are visiting here in town, we invite them to come out and be a part. We're going to have a little bit of worship music there also during the prayer times. But, whether you're on stage or not, there is, I believe, power in unity and power in numbers as we come together. So if people want to come and just, sit in the congregation and pray quietly, that's a way to participate there also. And I think just by showing up also, it shows support. And there's power in that. We think we've all heard it, especially living in a ranching culture in this area. There's power in the herd. There's power in the group there.
So you've done a great job answering, what will people do this evening. How long has this been going on in the community? We say 1952 for the National Day of Prayer and the emphasis to get this going, but bring it closer to home.
Okay.
You know?
This January will be my 20th year in Enid. I know I don't look that old, do I? To be here that long. But
Started in the 8th grade?
yeah, I
Is that
think
it?
so. Yeah.
8th or 9th, 8th or 9th grade? You said 8th or 9th grade right there.
But it has been going on here in Enid ever since I have been here for the last going on 20 years that I know of. And from what I know of the history of the Enid community, the faith community, I believe there has been a movement of it that has been going on for quite some time.
Okay.
Well, Brad, thank you very much for visiting with us this morning. Contact information, the event will be held.
Yes, at World Harvest Church, which is on South Garland Road. If you know where Lowe's and Walmart's at, that's a great identifier right there. But just go on the road that splits Lowe's and Walmart, just go south there about a half a mile. And we're right there, right in the middle of the wheat field, World Harvest Church at 1419 South Garland Road. Starts at 7 o'clock. Our goal is to be done around 8 o'clock this evening.
Very good. Brad, thank you for
Thanks
joining
again.
us this morning
Thank
at the
you.
round
Thank
table.
you for allowing me to be here.
National Day of Prayer being celebrated locally here at World Harvest Church. 7 o'clock tonight, as Brad said. Again, at World Harvest Church there, 1419 South Garland Road, 7 o'clock, so keep that in mind. Can we mention the phone number as well? If somebody
Certainly.
has a and that number is?
Certainly, 580-234-4474.
So if you have questions about the event or directions or whatever, 234-4474. The round table this morning, Brad Mendenhall. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate
Thanks
all
again.
this
Have a great
information.
day.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't you say one time that you had a sprinkler system that was leaking and you didn't know it?
I don't want to
And you
think
had a-
about that,
And you had
Steve.
a big water bill? I'm sorry.
It was terrible, yes. I
Lenny-
had sprinkler system issues.
Okay, well, we have this video about sprinkler spruce up. So take a moment and look at this, and we'll be right back. Okay, sprinkler spruce up, and it seems like over the winter something happens to everybody's sprinkler system, so you really just don't take for granted that everything's okay. You need to check it out, especially here in northwestern Oklahoma where we conserve water and make the most of water, so keep that in mind. Holding steady, Jamara at 46 degrees at 7:52. High today is going to be 69 and sunny. Be a good day to walk a dog later on.
Right. It will get
A puppy
better,
dog?
Steve. It will get better. Not just yet.
Okay, so are we at the news time once again?
Well, yes. Let's see what happened overnight. And to tell us that, it's our bow tie guy, Derek Silas.
President Trump appoints Governor Mary Fallin as co-chair of the Council of Governors. Fallin will join 9 other governors in serving on this bipartisan national council that focuses on effective collaborative efforts between the federal and state government. Oklahoma School for Deaf students recently competed at a university in D.C. and brought home 3rd place in the National Battle of the Books playoff competition. And Monday, the City Commission appointed Duran Norwood to fill the seat of Ward 2 Commissioner. Mayor Bill Shuey administered the oath of office. And on this day in history, in 1896, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Old Greer County, a land of some 1.5 million acres at the time, belonged to the United States in a lawsuit against the state of Texas. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, Old Greer County was divided into Greer, Harmon, Jackson, and part of Beckham counties. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Stephen Jamara.
Lots of information, right?
Yeah, walking encyclopedia. 7:54, thank you for joining us on show number 119 here on Good Morning Enid. As you can tell, we cram in a lot of little things here in 30 minutes. I was at the restaurant yesterday, Jamara, and a young lady came up to me, and Gerald Gilbert, and made a comment, goes, I like that astronaut show of you interviewing the lady that's on all those space shuttle missions.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was the interview with Nancy Curry Gregg, and that's going to air at 8 o'clock this morning. So if you want to see the show that she was talking about, there, thank you, Penn.
She is.
That's the graphic right there. Nancy Curry Gregg, 4 shuttle missions, 5 shuttle missions. She goes into each one of those. But anyway, it was great to get that feedback at the restaurant yesterday, but that'll be at 8 o'clock this morning.
Very impressive.
Okay,
Well,
3-day forecast looking good?
They are. If you're planning your weekend, it's going to be a sunny weekend, very nice temperature. High temperature on Sunday, 81 degrees. The lowest 47, so it looks great. If you have yard work to do, this is the weekend to do so.
Okay. we need to just stop raining just a little bit so we can get some things caught up.
Yeah.
Again, Decades Rewind is tonight, so you can go to World Harvest Church from 7 to 8 for the National Day of Prayer event, and then go down to the CNB Center and go see Decades Rewind and for 60s, 70s, and 80s show. So, well, at 7:55, we have a special pet that came in. So we want to take a look at this puppy dog in just a few moments. But let's look at this promo about how you can make a difference in a pet's life. 249-4910 is the number for you to remember. And let's watch this promo right now.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and this is Russell. Russell's looking for a new home. At Enid Animal Control, we have lots of pets looking for a new home. Come visit us at 1200 South 10th Street.
You're watching Good Morning Enid, and currently it's 46 degrees with winds, northwest winds, 64. Is it 69 degrees, the highest temperature, Steve?
It's going to be 69?
Yes,
Our winds are out of the northwest.
I'm so excited about that weather that, yes.
Winds out of the northwest at 6. For all of our pilots that are watching.
There we go.
I get feedback from the pilots from time to time that not that they need to be told, because they
Well,
hear
don't
that out.
listen to my wind report, because they probably will mess our schedules.
Yeah, the winds are out of the northwest at 69 miles per hour this morning, but it's going to be a great day. Thank you, Jamar. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Steve, this is one of my favorite parts of the show, and we have a beautiful pet today, and his name is Butler. He lives up to his name. Yes.
Look at this.
He's a lab Shep mix, and he is about a year old. You can adopt him. Just $35, the cost of adoption, and it covers rabies shot. And as you can see, he's very well-mannered. He loves to play. He's very loving. And you can adopt him at First Friday. That will be happening tomorrow downtown. And that's it for Butler. You can see, very cute. He needs a home.
And it looks like he likes Altoids. You know, is that what Charlotte's doing? Charlotte, thank you for bringing in Butler today. We appreciate all the efforts behind the scenes that you do at Animal Control. Charlotte Ringwald helps us out every week by bringing in a pet. We don't give her as much time because we're kind of running. There we go. See, another Altoid. I know it. So Butler, 249-4910 is the number to call. We've had a great show, National Day of Prayer. It's May the Force be with you as well.
Yes.
And Decades Rewind tonight. We got to go. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you.